Hello everyone, I'm Heesu. I'm going to do the final presentation titled Building Digital Trust in Generative AI for Travel Planning. I specifically focus on the role of communication quality in this project. I really wanted to show off in this presentation. However, I think it is a little bit bothered for showing the presentation. So I'm gonna hide me and then later in at the end of the presentation, I will show back again. So these are the contents that I wanted to presentation today. The first, I'm gonna start with the introduction part and literature review, and I'm gonna explaining about what kind of the methodology that I utilize for the research, and I'm gonna briefly mention about the research, and then I'm gonna wrap up with the conclusion. So first of all, as all you know, generative AI applications for the many of the discipline is expansion. For example, the ChatGPT and Gemini, Perplexity, and Copilot. Also, as the generative AI developing, the many industry adopt these kind of tools because these tools shape how travelers search for the information, evaluate the option, and make decisions. Users often describe interaction as convenient, accurate, and personalized, and these kind of characteristics reinforce the reliance on these platforms. Also, the hospitality industry has the intangibility of service characteristic. So it means that customers frequently seek additional information to reduce the uncertainty before making booking decisions, because they don't want to have the risk about the intangibility of services. So in this way, the trust is the important part. Um, Trust in the information becomes critical in shaping behavioral outcomes such as purchase intention. In addition, when customers trust the information, they tend to share the information with their peers, such as their family, friends, and coworkers. So in the hospitality industry, the trust is the important factor. Based on this background, I set the two research questions. The first one is, how does communication quality derived from the generative AI interactions influence the traveler's digital trust? The second one is, how does digital trust shape travelers' willingness to share the information obtained through the generative AI platforms? Based on this research question and the result, I set the five keywords: the generative AI, communication quality, digital trust, AI searching experience, and information sharing. So from now on, I'm gonna explaining about the literature review. So I'm gonna start with the communication quality. ChatGPT has attracted considerable attention in the hospitality and tourism sectors because its ability to provide efficient and high quality travel advice. So I tried to find some information for my travel in the Expedia that is plugged in the ChatGPT. It generates a customized list of the travel options, including flights, accommodations, and itineraries that align with my plans. So these functions enable more informed and personalized travel decision making. When I try to find some information in there, I just put I want to stay hotel and my budget is $500 and I really wanted to do something, for example. And then they give me some itineraries focused on my preferences. So in this way, the communication quality refers to the process of information exchange between a source and a receiver. It means that a source are the generative AI and the receiver can be the customer. So there are the four different concepts of the communication quality. The four is the accuracy, currency, and timeliness and understandability. The next one is the personalization. The customized products and services show to the influence customer preferences and behaviors. AI has advanced this personalization frontier by generating recommendations based on user-specific data. And also, generative AI can provide tailored travel suggestions that enhance the trust and loyalty among users. The main reason that I really wanted to communicate with the generative AI is always they give me the answer or the suggestion focused on my specific situation. So the next one is customer trust. Increase the confidence in the quality of product or services while reducing the perceived uncertainty. As I mentioned before, in the hospitality and tourism industry, trust is particularly significant due to the intangibility of service and the uncertainty travelers face before experiencing a destination. Although the artificial intelligence is increasingly embedded in daily life, it remains on early stage of development, often leaving users with feeling the uncertainty. So the making the trust must be integrated into service design to increase the meaningful interaction with users and prevent the negative outcomes. So prior research mentioned about the triadic relationship among customer, digital systems, and providers. So trust intermediates has also been found indirectly impact booking intention. There are two different types of the trust. The first one is mechanical trust. It means that the expectation that a system consistently delivers the predictable outcomes. The second one is a relational trust. It means that the social norms and expectations and the agreements that governs relationship among the customers, platform, and the service providers. It ensures that the promise the value of the technology. The last part is the information sharing. As all you know, it is intention about sharing their information or their experiences. Travelers are more likely to share their information when they perceive online content as credible and useful. So it strengthens the social relationship and enhances the overall value of digital platform. So the trustworthiness or credible of the information is important to reinforce the trust and community engagement. So based on the background, I set this conceptual research model, the generative AI communication quality and personalization of generative AI have positive effect on digital trust, and this trust shape the positive impact on the information sharing. So regarding the methodology, my sample is US customers who have experience using generative AI tools for planning a trip. I choose the purposive sampling using the screening questions such as have you ever used generative AI such as ChatGPT or Gemini, and have you ever the searching for the overall travel information using generative AI tools when planning a trip. If the respondents say no about these questions, they are screened out. So I collect the data through the Sona and I get the 184 response from the Sona. However, I only utilized the 74. And for the analysis method, I utilized the SPSS for the descriptive analysis, exploratory factor analysis, and correlation analysis and regression analysis. I'm going to cover more detailedly about the result for the following section. So these are the measurements that I utilize. This is the original measurement. For the communication quality, I have four different sub-construct: accuracy, currency, and timeliness, and understandability. And also I put the personalization as well. And regarding the trust, I contain the two different types of contract, mechanical trust and relational trust. And I utilize the dependent variable for the information sharing. So I'm gonna explaining about the result. I'm gonna start with the descriptive analysis. The first part is respondent profile. Regarding the age, respondents mentioned that around the 40% of the people respond they are 20 years old, and around the 22% people they said 21 years old, and 22 years old are the around the 20%. So regarding the gender, surprisingly, the female are the 91.5% and the male is a tiny portion, the 8.5%. So this is the result of the exploratory factor analysis of the communication quality with the generative AI. I put the communication quality measurement items and the personalization together. However, it combined as three different concepts. So I renamed the factors differently. So the first part is the generative AI service quality because it covered the measurement items covered about the service quality of the generative AI. For example, I do not have difficulty understanding information provided generative AI, and the response time of generative AI is fast when I ask about the destination or itineraries. Also, the second part is generative AI information quality because it's regarding the information quality. So, for example, the travel information from generative AI reflects my personal needs, and generative AI provides updated travel related information. The last part is generative AI information accuracy because it covered about how accuracy the information provided by generative AI. So the including the KMO value and Butler's chi-square and other values are showing the acceptable, and it shows that it is good for analysis. And also I divided the factors based on the eigenvalue. So next part is the digital trust. Unlike the prior research, it divided as three constructs. So I renamed again about this factor. The first part is security trust because it covered like I believe generative AI protects my privacy when I use it for the travel planning. And generative AI secures my personal information when I interact with it. So I named this one as security trust. The next one is performance trust. Overall, these items showed how the AI performance can trust through their performance. For example, like I believe generative AI promptly processes the information I request or something like that. The last one is integrated trust. It means that um when the users using generative AI, the over trust they can feel like over trustworthy or they can trust when they are decision making. So I renamed as security trust and performance trust and integrity trust. So all the values are above and I can say it is acceptable. So the last part is information sharing. The results are same with the prior research. So I use the same name with the prior research. So the next part is the correlation between factors. Some correlations are a little bit high. However, I can say it is acceptable. So the next part is the regression section. So based on the EFA result, I did the regression between the factors. So interestingly, all the communication quality does not have any effect on the security trust. However, the generative AI service quality and information quality have strong positive effect on the performance trust. It means that when users perceive the generative AI service quality and information quality is high, they think their performance can trust. The last one is generation AI service quality and the information accuracy have positive effect on the integrated trust. It means that when they perceive the service quality and information accuracy, they can have the trustworthiness about the generative AI. And the older factors are above, so I can say it is useful for the regression analysis. So the last part is I regression about the relationship between the digital trust and information sharing. Interestingly, the integrated trust only have positive effect on the information sharing. It means that whenever the users have the overall trustworthy about the utilize the generative AI, they really wanted to share their experience or information with their peers. So these are the result figure based on my final result. So the next part is the discussion. I examine how travelers evaluate their information searching experience with generative AI tools during planning their trips. The customers constructs measuring the communication quality, personalization, digital trust, and information sharing were reassessed using the EFA. So based on the EFA result, I divided as three for the communication quality, like Gen AI service quality, information quality, and information accuracy. And also regarding the digital trust, I divided as three. Based on the result, I renamed like security trust, performance trust, and integrity trust. So based on this result, I provided an updated understanding of trust information in generative AI-based travel planning. And also the results showed that the trust and user contribution behavior developed through multiple nuanced perceptions. So based on this result, I can suggest some managerial implications for the AI developers. They have to enhance the generative AI service performance. They have to focus on the responsiveness, clarity, and the tailored assistant. It can improve these aspects, strengthen the performance trust and the integrity trust. Also, they have to build in transparency and the credibility using they have to cite proper information sources and clarity uncertainty levels and indicate when verification is needed and provide clear data use disclosures. These kind of factors support trustworthy communication and user confidence. The last one is reinforcing security perception. Even the security trust not influenced by communication quality, it means that users relying on the platform level protections. It highlights data protection measures and also provide a visible privacy assurance. There are some implications, however, this study also have limitation and I can suggest I have some suggestions for the future research. Before I mention, I use the small samples and primarily focus on the university students. So it is limited to generalization. So for the future research, they have to have the larger and more diverse samples. And also in this research, construct redefined based on the EFA. So future research using the CFA, they have to conform the model with larger samples or the longitudinal or experimental designs to clarify causal relationship between the factors. And also at the idea developing stage, I including the another behavior scope such as the continuous intention. However, I remove it. So for the future research, including the diverse behavior scope such as continuous intention or adoption intention is good for developing more better research. And also for the future research, it is better to focus on to explore the differences across AI models, interfaces, and domains. So this is all that I prepared for today. And if you have any question, just email me to this email address. And thank you for giving this opportunity to do research by myself for Dr. Jai. And hope you see you around and happy Thanksgiving. Bye.